Hey, okay, so I haven't made a video for such a long time, I know, but I thought I would do my GCSE revision video again, because a lot of the stuff that I said in my other video was actually for like throughout the year of your GCSEs rather than when you have exams. So I thought I'd do some that are literally just specific to exams, and like I'm gonna give some last minute tips, but these aren't last minute as in you don't do any work until the last minute and these will help you. I mean kind of like last minute as in they will help you in the last minute, provided possibly that you've done some work beforehand. If you understand what I mean. I don't know, in my head it makes sense, I don't know if it makes sense to you, but yeah, I'll get into it anyway. So actual like practical tips on what you actually do when you're revising. Number one, look, cover, write, check. That's like the classic method of learning anything, but like this is probably more for like having to memorize chunks of text, or like in history or things like that, or like biology or things like that, where you have to remember things that like, and you just like when you get to the exam you just have to like literally just write them out again. So like you obviously read what it is you're going to read, and then you cover it and you write it down, and then you check that what you wrote matches what was written in the textbook, which can actually really, it helps you to get it in your head, but then it can actually really be quite hard because then you have to keep everything in your head, which is quite hard as well. So going over it every single day up until your exam will also help you, but like that initial writing down and making sure you've written down everything correctly will help it stick in your head a little bit more, if you get what I mean. And then the second thing I have to say is like flashcards and things. And I do personally, the way I like to do flashcards is I'll have a bunch of questions on the back. So I'll be looking at the textbook, and I'll write down a bunch of questions that I think cover all the important points, and then I will go to the other side and I'll write down some other like the answers to the questions on the back from memory. So I'm revising while I'm actually making the flashcards, but then the flashcards can actually help to revise at a later date. But then some people also like to have smaller ones that have just one question on them or things like that, but I just prefer to do it this way. Some people, like some of my friends, only have one question on each piece of paper, but obviously like not massive ones like these ones are just like literally, I bought them in a pack like this. They're called, I don't know if you can read them if they're backwards or not, but they're called record cards. They're 6 by 4 inches and comes in a pack of 100, and it was only like £2.99, and I haven't even used them all up. But like obviously buy what you can afford, and I find them really helpful like while revising, like while making these I was revising, and then I can use them for further revision later on as well, which is really cool. So but I'll just explain again what I said. I'd look at a page in the textbook, this was biology by the way, and make up some questions as I read after reading that covered the main key points on that page, like the 2-page spread, and then from the top of my head I would write the answers to them in coloured pens in the back, on the back. And colour pens is also something I'd really recommend using, because now they're really like, I can look at these really easily, rather than if it was like all black or all grey or something like that, or like even all pink. So yeah, and literally that's something that I really recommend. It's really worked for me, although I haven't had exams yet, so yeah, I'll keep you posted on how that works out. And another thing I'd say is literally get your hands on every single exam question. This is more of a thing that you would do like when your exam is really close, as in like the day or 2 days before. Literally every single exam question that you can get your hands on, find them and do them, and ask and look up the answers if you don't know any questions, because at the end of the day you're trying to learn everything that you possibly could have missed out. So if you don't know the answer, look it up and learn it basically, and if you do know the answer and it's like a long question, then if you know exactly the answer, then maybe it might not be worthwhile actually answering the question if you already know all of it. But like obviously like it may still help you, because then you may have got it wrong anyway, so you can check the answers as well and see that you have gotten it right. So, and then like, if you don't know the answer, look it up in your textbook, look it up in the exam questions answers if they're online. Ask your teachers, like literally email them, because at the end of the day your education is your education, and if they have to send you a one-line email out of their holiday or whatever, then do it. Ask your friends if they might know. Like, just make sure you know the answer to every single exam question that has ever been asked, because it may come up in your exam and it may help you, and it also helps you to understand it more, and also it helps you to like know what the format will be like in the exams. So a lot of the time when you get taught things, you get taught the concepts but you don't get taught how to apply it in exam situations. So yeah, that will really help you, and trust me, I swear by this method. Every single question you can get your hands on, answer them and make sure that you know the answer. And then that's really, when you're actually revising, that's just really what I recommend. That's how I revise, that's how I still revise. And obviously if something different works for you, like with pictures, all that kind of stuff, then obviously then go with that. But I can't give any advice on that, because obviously I don't use that kind of like that kind of learning in my head. But another thing I suppose that also helps me learn is by association. So for example, there's this disease called cystic fibrosis, and it's caused by, this is gonna get boring, but like it's caused by changes in your DNA, and like it's a deletion, so some part of the sequence of your DNA gets deleted, and it's cystic fibrosis prevents you from being able to remove mucus from your body, I think. So it's like you can't delete mucus, so it's a deletion. That kind of thing works for me in my head, but like obviously other people might not be able to work that way. But that was just a little something that like I work by association. So if you think there's no way I'm ever going to remember this, just try and find some weird links that will help you remember them. And then make sure you equipped yourself with the right stationery. So like it's not that big a deal, but I feel like they can help you make like a little bit of a difference. So like these cards for flashcards, the coloured pens, the post-it notes, the what else, I don't know, whatever else you think will help you, the paper to do your questions and all that kind of stuff, the pencils, whatever it is that you think will help you get that in your house and make sure it's available to you when you need it. So rather than having to run to WH Smith whenever you need something, just make sure you got it all, and yeah, it's ready for you whenever you want, and it's laid out neatly somewhere where you'll be able to find it when it's time. Another thing that I'd say is there's loads of videos online on YouTube, on different websites everywhere, so that covers different topics and things. So that's another like lively way of learning. So rather than just reading all the time, you could possibly find the information already recorded for you on videos, or you can make your own videos. So rather than having to read over and over again, like record yourself talking about things, or record yourself just a voice recording. I did that last year. It didn't really, like, it kind of helped a little bit, but I don't know, because I sort of get distracted when I'm walking down the street anyway. Like even when I'm listening to music, sometimes I even forget that I'm listening to music because I'm thinking about different things. So that only helps if you're like, if you think that's gonna work for you. But I don't know, whatever will work for you. And also make sure your voice is lively when you're reading to yourself rather than monotone, because then also you'll be more likely to want to listen to yourself talking. Another thing is different websites will help you, like GCSE Bite Size, alevelchemistry.co.uk, the Bio Tutor, the Econ Tutor, Exam Solutions. All these kinds of things are on there for you. And there's this website called Quizlet, and I think, I'm not exactly sure how it works, I haven't really used it, but I think there are some quizzes that are already made for you, and then you can make your own quizzes, like flashcard kind of quizzes. I'm not exactly sure entirely how it works, but check that out anyway, see if it could help you. And then when you're actually revising, I would say if you're at home, every half hour, like walk downstairs, speak to your mum or whoever's down there, watch a tiny bit of TV if you can, like literally do something quick that you won't get addicted to. Do you get what I mean? Like so a lot of the time when I go for a break, I end up not coming back for like 2 hours. but like do something 5 minutes that will literally take you 5 minutes, and you'll have a change of scenery and you'll come back, because your concentration isn't going to go more further than half an hour anyway, so you need that change of scenery that quick. Maybe like get a little snack or something like that. Not every time get a snack, because then you'll be like stuffed, but like, you know what I mean, just change the scenery and come back. It really will help you focus a lot more, and then you'll be able to actually remember the things you're learning, rather than just carry on and then you forget everything because you weren't concentrating anyway. And then if you go to the library, one of my suggestions is, like, if you have like a tablet or a phone or anything like that, like download videos onto the tablet, so whenever you, like every half hour, because obviously you're not going to walk out of the library every half hour and come back and leave your stuff there, like you can take 5 minutes off to like watch a video for 5 minutes or anything like that. So I know BBC iPlayer now allows you to download like shows to watch later, like on tablets and laptops. So if you've got one with you, take it with you to the library, and that could just help you have a break every half hour. And in terms of your phone, I personally don't say turn it off, because like if it works for you to turn it off, that's fine, but I would personally say keep it on silent and keep it behind you or in your bag or something like that. So, and then whenever you have your breaks every half hour, you can look at Instagram, Twitter, text, like, but make sure you keep it like you're not constantly texting. But the fact that you've got like in half an hour I can look at my phone, the fact that you've got that to look forward to will prevent you from just constantly looking at it while you're revising, I think, anyway. And then another thing is just get your friends together, like come to your house or go to the library with friends, and like obviously you have to have the self-control not to talk the whole time, but like it just kind of makes it more of a social event rather than like a tedious task, having people with you that can revise with you or alongside you, or even you can ask them questions if you're stuck and they can ask you questions, things like that. And also penultimate thing is be realistic with your revision. If you can't do 8 hours of revision in one go, don't schedule it. Break up your time. So if you want to do 8 hours of revision a day, that's up to you, but make sure you've scheduled it in a realistic way. So I'll do 2 hours in the morning, then take a break for half an hour or 45 minutes, then do 2 hours and take a break, and do like break it up into chunks that you can actually manage. Don't just say I'm gonna go and I'm gonna do 8 hours non-stop with 5-minute breaks in between each hour, because you're probably not going to do that. You'll get distracted and you'll end up just being on your phone for half the time. So make it realistic, but be smart about it as well. Don't be like, well, I can't do 8 hours, so I'll do 2 hours today. Like, obviously do as much revision as you need to do, but make it realistic. Break it up into realistic chunks. And last but not least, don't panic, just work. So when you think, oh my gosh, I've got so much work to do, oh my gosh, it's crazy, don't let yourself get stressed. Just literally just do the work, because when you find that when you're doing the work, even though you know you've got loads of work to do, your mind is a bit more relaxed anyway, because you're doing as much as you can do, because you're working as hard as you can work, because you're actually working. I'm not saying work all the time, like every second of the day. I'm just saying if you feel like you've got loads of work to cover and you don't have enough time, just start work. Just start. And also get off YouTube right now and go study. Okay, you shouldn't be on YouTube, you should be studying right now. But yeah, thank you so much for watching. What was I gonna say? Oh yeah, thank you for watching. Like, comment, subscribe, share, all that kind of stuff. And yeah, good luck with your exams. Hopefully I'll do well with mine. And yeah, I'll see you guys on results day when I'll have a video of my results. And yeah, thank you and bye bye.